Drop your buffs. We are officially merged.
Let me tell you about the island of Ull. These palm trees might be the trick.
We made an alliance called the Middle.
Can we just like go with Soraya if that's the simplest thing?
Right now it's like we're moving forward with like voting as Soraya, right?
He said he's thinking potentially about Sreya.
Obviously, I don't like that.
I definitely have to see whose favor, even if unexpected, might lie my way.
With a little bit of honesty from you all, how into this are you?
I'm fine if we do Megan.
Your name was the only one that didn't get any votes. So then I said, okay, maybe go with Megan.
And I think Soraya and Emma would be on that who I want to work with list.
Evelyn has gotten really, really close with Will ever since they swapped tribes together. And I'm pretty sure she's like on board to flip on the old Spurs and work with Will.
But now I found out that Jared has been playing both sides as well.
8th person voted out, and the first member of our jury, Carolyn.
Last tribal went great. I was very, very happy with how it turned out.
I think that Sreya made a great move. I think that Sreya absolutely did what was best for her, and I totally commend her for it, and I think I may just be in a slightly better place than I was before anyway.
I can't believe that actually went okay.
Soraya flipped on Carolyn and voted for her, so yeah. There ended up being 3 votes on Megan and 2 votes on Soraya, which is pretty much exactly what we were expecting, except we thought it would be 7 votes on Carolyn, 3 votes on Soraya, and 2 votes on Megan.
And like 2 hours before tribal, Emma told us on a call, it was with me and Rohan and Megan. She told us that she got an extra vote from the paper toss challenge, which I had suspected, but she had not admitted to it.
The reason Jared, Evelyn, and Brian would vote for Soraya instead of Carolyn is because we were pretty confident that they were the ones leaking information, and so we wanted to keep them in the dark so that they wouldn't, so that if an idol was played, they would play for the wrong person.
Survived that tribal. It did not go at all how I expected it to go. Just mind-blowing, because, like, I don't know, these people didn't have any reason to think I'd lie to them.
He was like, why didn't you include me? And I was like...
Like, they let Soraya in on the vote, but not me.
Someone lied. Can't wait to find out who it was.
This past week was an absolute disaster.
I'm inclined to think it was Evelyn or Jared. I think Brian would vote for Soraya. Evelyn and Jared were obviously the ones who were leaking information to the Bears side, and like they literally told Soraya that I was saying her name, which was really fucked up. And yeah, like they're definitely the biggest snakes in this game right now.
Like, I'm not even doing this from like a game standpoint because like I do feel guilty for like telling all of these lies. I am going to confess a lot of the truths that I've been involved with last week. I made some very, very dumb decisions the past week. And I hate saying this to you, but I'm the one that wrote the third name for you.
I figured because
Yeah, like,
I think everyone said that her and Brian S. voted Soraya.
yeah. I was aggressively playing both sides the whole time, so yeah.
I did hear that.
Yeah, I got caught up way too much in trying to navigate both sides.
And then today, in the morning, I get a text from Jared being like, hey, we gotta talk. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Like, he's gonna come clean now. He's not the kind of guy who can like stick with a lie for that long. So yeah, we got into a call today and he told me, yeah, sorry about that. I voted Megan. The plan was basically
to make us split the votes between Carolyn and Soraya, and then they were trying to get like a weak majority and get Megan to get voted out, which obviously didn't happen because why would we let that happen?
I don't want my game to be over just yet. I still have a lot of work I have to do, and a lot of trust I've got to rebuild.
I know I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. I know basically everybody wants to see me gone.
Everyone is talking about how, the second Will loses immunity, we're gonna vote him out.
The Spurs kind of fucked up this week. The Spurs did what the original Bears did to Brian S. about a month ago. They thought it was more important to make some kind of flashy immunity distribution than to really cultivate the core fundamental part of this game, which is not burning bridges and keeping your relationships.
This week, I didn't know about Carolyn getting voted. So Brian and I are both in the same boat where we're like, why did they not tell us,
Up until this point in the game, I've been trying to convince Evelyn multiple times a week that, Evelyn, you are not going to make it to the end of the game by sticking with the Spurs. You need to change it up. You need to try to make a big play with me. And it's always been, it's like, yeah, but... And I think that bridge has finally burned this week when Evelyn was told that the vote was Soraya and not Carolyn. Brian S., I think, was in a similar vote.
Because the way I see it, you might kind of be on the outside of the Spurs, but not going to get voted out. But if the Spurs kind of break apart, then you could suddenly, be on the inside of whatever comes out. I don't know what that would look like. I'm just trying to figure out a way we can help each other.
It's just a little confusing. It's a little confusing. Because I've been cool with all of them. I've been straight up, and I know that it's hard to tell in this game when people are lying, but I don't know. I'm assuming I'll just get a lot of apologies, being like, sorry for not letting you in on the vote, even though we had no reason not to. It's annoying. It's annoying.
For all I know, they're planning to vote me out, or planning to vote Will out, and I don't know what I can do about it, because no one could be telling me a word.
All of the original Bears plus Evelyn are scared of getting pagonged, where if we lose this week and go down numbers 4-5, then each of the next 4 consecutive weeks a Bear could get voted off, and there's really nothing we could do about it if the Spurs don't break. That would be an insurmountable mountain.
I'm kind of being pulled along by the survivor tides right now, and that's not exactly a great resume point or a great way to build alliances. So I feel kind of like I'm drifting, and I'm not sure what to do about it.
So if I convince them, hey guys, we're at 5-5, this is our last chance to make this last-ditch effort, and if an OG Spurs go home, then we're set for 4 straight weeks.
I was kind of thinking about, I was seriously weighing the stats of trying to convince everybody to pull a 5-5 and leave it up to the wheel, because they do have more to lose than we do.
Nobody wants it to go to a wheel spin except for maybe me.
All right. For immunity and a guaranteed spot in the final 9. Survivors ready. Go. Will already got one. Jared got one. Alex has one. Emma going rapid fire. Gonna be a quick challenge. A different strategy by Jared. He's lying down.
Check.
Jared's good.
Check. Check.
I need the other ball out. Yes, Alex is good. 3 people working on the words.
Check.
Empty bowl run. Yep, you're good. Will dropped one. He's got a penalty.
Okay. Yeah. If we guess and it's wrong,
Oh, you're good. Shreya, Evelyn, and Luciana, the only ones still trying to move papers over from bowl to bowl.
Check.
Everyone working on the word puzzle. People just unballing up their pieces of paper.
You good?
Luciana's good.
Check.
Definitely see some different strategies. See a lot of moving paper around with Emma and Alex. Jared's just. And Shreya wins immunity. Already.
Wow.
Was the word
problematic?
Oh my god, I just got it.
That is why they say it means nothing until the puzzle in Survivor. Shreya wins immunity.
That immunity challenge was something else. Shreya beasted all of us at that challenge. You know, like, she was further behind than most other people, and she got the answer like that.
I got my ass kicked on the challenge this week. Shreya's just on a different level.
What the hell, man? That was insane. It was so unbelievably fast.
And so I was like the 3rd or 4th person to get my papers done, but it took me so long to unravel these papers. And within like 10 seconds of me having all the papers unraveled, I figured out the word. The word's problematic. In my video, you see you see that I've rearranged the words and I have it. As I'm like going to type it into my computer, the challenge is already over. Like, Shreya figured out the word before she even unraveled all the papers.
I took some extra time to like make the balls as small as possible so that it'd be easy for me to pick up with the spoon and transport. What I didn't realize is that, you know, making the balls as very, very compact would increase the amount of time it took for me to unravel them. And as a result, it took me a long time to like open it up and actually get started on the puzzle.
Clearly a little salty that I did not win the challenge by like the finest of margins. I still think I'm good this week. I did just get off a call with Megan, Luciana, and Rohan. We have time, and also like we could say something right now, but I do believe that people are gonna, like, outside of us four, are gonna try to throw each other under the bus and scheme. So, like, let's just see what they offer up also.
True.
Kind of just like seeing, throwing names out there. And Jared's comes up. Everyone's like, yeah, we can't trust him. And the whole vote thing.
Like, I have no doubt in my mind that Jared is going to come to us with a pitch or someone.
Really? I
mean, he knows he's on the hot seat because of last week, so I
that's
assume he'd come to us with an idea.
Yeah, I'd hope so. He's been playing so passively lately until last week.
I wish I had won that challenge because I know I'm a huge target this week. So yeah, it wasn't ideal that I didn't win.
I still have faith in the Keen Scene crew.
Yes.
So
again, I still want to work with you guys. Like that wasn't gonna change no matter what.
Yeah.
I still think that I could work with him. Like, I don't trust him, but I think he thinks that, like, me, Rohan, and him have, like, that econ alliance. Like, maybe that could still happen. So I'd be hesitant to vote him out just yet. He would be someone I'd want to vote out somewhat soon. I think if he makes it to the end, he has a strong chance of winning.
We can use him as numbers because he's in a vulnerable position. And he knows he can't screw up, because if he does screw up, he's either going home or he's in deeper shit. That's like the only way I see it.
I really don't want to vote him out next. I kind of want to get Will out.
Regardless of what happens, I'm content. I have played hard. Very, very hard throughout this whole game. If I don't vote out, I really won't have much regrets, because regrets is kind of a fool's game. You can't regret the things that you've done in the past. You can only move forward.
So last week, as part of the Idle Hunt adventure game, Megan decided to go to the mountains, I think, like the snowy crevices of the mountain, and apparently there was a guy there, and in order to talk to the guy, she had to do a task, which was do 100 knee raises.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Four, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8, 4, 9, 50.
She's in Florida right now, and so she couldn't finish the knee raises within an hour, and as a result, she lost her vote for the next tribal, which is really bad.
So we have to reconvene and try to find this.
Luciana suggested that we, the middle, her, Alex, Rohan, and I, kind of like compare our things and like say that in our group chat.
So I heard down the line that you can jump into a volcano here, and I'm just like, do you know what? If Will can spare me from death because I am his mascot, I will jump into that volcano. And do you know what I did? I jumped in. And there is some blinding light. And suddenly I get this image of a pie. And then I look at the image more, and I'm like, it's a key lime pie. And the clue says, if you're in the pursuit of a specific key lime pie, then I'm just like, then what do coconuts have to do with this? I send it into the middle group chat since we're all working together to find this idol, and Megan says, it's coconut key lime pie. Look at the edge, and there's coconut shaved off of there.
So I had the coconut already, and so I figured the furry creatures were the monkeys, and Emma ended up telling me that in her vision on the carnival ride, she saw monkeys. Luciana also got the clue about the coconut. So it has to be those two.
So I'm like, that's great. And then Alex goes, you may want to start by adding letters 3. There's something on the island that has the word key in it, and you add 3 letters to it. It's a monkey.
I just fed the monkeys the coconut, and I got a key. So that means I think this key goes to the store in the Ferris wheel area.
Rohan, I guess moving to the idol thing, when you went to the retail shop today, did you try throwing your coconut at the window?
I didn't explicitly try, but I think if that was what was supposed to happen, then
like they would have done it automatically.
I told Alex about it. I told him I had the key. So maybe that's dumb, but hopefully he doesn't tell other people.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that would break bulletproof glass on this island. Like, unless it's something stupid, like the coconut.
And I decided to traverse up the volcano on the island. And when I was there, there was an option to go to this flowing pool of lava, and I chose to pour water on that flowing pool of lava to see what would happen from that.
Jared, through the adventure game, his vote is going to be public this week.
I got a disadvantage from it. Can't seem to escape those.
A lot of people are like very worried about him. I think he's someone that I can beat at the end, and I have like a connection. I think he trusts me probably the most in the game right now, even though he did lie to me last week. So I do want to keep him around, but I'm a little wary.
Also, like, the main reason I wanted to talk to you is I want to propose, I think us two, like, we should do a final three sort of thing. Because I feel like it's that point in the game where people are talking about this, and I haven't said it to anybody, but I feel comfortable enough with you that we should do that.
If Luciana and Rohan make it to the end, we think they're gonna win, especially with the people that Luciana has on the jury. And then we would also rather go with 3 spurs, just because if we go with 1 bear, they might put all of the bear jury votes on the 1 bear with us, which means they would win.
If us two and Luciana are sitting there, us two and Rohan are sitting there, like,
we're not gonna win.
What would happen? Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. Like, between you and I feel like it might be a toss-up.
Yeah,
but between them, like, I know there's no chance.
Rohan and I are playing very similar games, so that's someone that I'm gonna have to vote out before he votes me out. I know he's really smart, so it'll just be a matter of when. And then Luciana also is a very smart player, so I'm also gonna have to figure out when the right time to move on her is.
Yeah, or I was thinking, so I've actually proposed some, not this, but something similar to Emma, actually. So we've talked about how neither of us would win against Rohan or Luciana. So we've talked before that, like, she seems like she's solid, and if we wanted to make a move against one of them, I think she would go along with it.
I've come to the conclusion that everyone wants to work with me because of my lovely personality and wonderful self.
We also have like a final 3 set up kind of with Soraya. Although I'd rather go like the final 3 with Alex, me, and Emma.
I feel like, I mean, I technically am, but I feel like I'm playing 2 different games right now because I'm playing the game with like the original Spurs, and then I'm also trying to appease Soraya.
I don't know, it seems like we've all 3 played similar games, so that would be like an interesting end because I don't really know which way that would go.
It's like I don't want to get Soraya out yet, but I love Soraya, but it just makes everything so hard. I really, like, Megan is the only person in the same situation as me, to my knowledge.
I've been trying so hard to push a Rohan vote or a Luciana vote with Emma and Megan, who I thought were actually going to make some moves with me after they kept me in.
I feel like I for sure do not want to vote Luciana tonight. Next week, I'm totally down, but this week, like, just looking at it all logically, it just doesn't, it just makes more sense. It just makes more sense. And I get that Soraya is trying to, like, get the, like, Spurs numbers down, and I can see why she'd want to do that. But I'm too scared to right now.
It's been brought up to maybe vote Luciana out this vote, but I really think that we need to wait. I think we should definitely get it down to 8 and then vote Luciana. We still have
mean,
10 people. I don't know if right
yeah.
now's the time to make like a big move.
No.
Okay,
no.
good.
And it's becoming clearer and clearer by the minute that Megan and Emma won't do a thing without Commander Rohan and Alex giving them the okay. So, whatever big Spurs move I wanted to make, I'm not sure how I can pull it off without Spurs support.
Hi guys, we're approximately 2 days and 23 hours out from Tribal Council and I'm freaking out, I guess. The middle is so powerful right now and I don't know if associating myself with powerful people is the best thing in this game right now.
I want to know where Brian's head is at also, because I guess it's a good thing that all of us like kind of forgot he was here, but also a bad thing.
I take it
I
as
don't know what he could be thinking.
But now it's a matter of, is this going to be an easy vote? Is this the week to make a move? Can I make a move this week? Find out on Total Drama Island.
I don't know who really led the last vote. I think it was like a group thing to decide Carolyn. I would say that it's like my alliance of me, of like the middle of me, Megan, Rohan, and Luciana, which I guess we aren't really the middle anymore at this point. We're just like there.
I definitely don't want to vote someone from the middle out. Like, why would I do that? Like, why would I do that? Like, I would never write Rohan's name down. I'd never write Alex's name down. Megan's name, maybe if it were like a final 5 situation, maybe I'd write her name down.
I think the biggest threats to win the game right now are definitely Luciana, as I mentioned. Other big threats I would name are Will. Will would, if he makes it to the end, he'll have a really good story.
Part of me wants to believe that the middle's gonna take me to the final 4, to the final 3. On the other hand, though, they all have history with Jared and Shreya.
I met jointly with Alex and Rohan yesterday. The entire pitch there was that I'm seen as a unifying threat to the Spurs. As long as I'm in the game, the Spurs will be too caught up in voting me out without realizing that Alex and Rohan are behind the scenes really posturing themselves at who they want to bring to the end game, which of the remaining Spurs are the most loyal to them.
Will is like the easy one, but like at the same time, like if Will goes home, who are they gonna go after next? Probably me or Rohan, like one of the bigger threats.
So I think that for the time being, it'd be good to keep Will, because Will has pretty much no power in the game right now, but everyone considers him a huge threat. So if he sneaks by more tribal councils, then everyone is just gonna, put all their attention to him, put all their power and energy into voting him out, and then eventually we will vote him out, but then by that time I'm hoping it'll be too late for anyone to make a play on me.
I've been playing this game pretty honestly. Like, when I say I want to work with someone, like, I mean it. And hopefully this, like, I'm showing that now. I do want to work with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I reciprocate.
Obviously, we voted out Carolyn last week, and so I want to kind of keep that going. I want to cut off all of Will's arms and legs, cut off all of his appendages, and just let him sit there with a red target on his back.
So when they say that they're not going to vote me out this week, I take everything they say with a grain of salt, because I feel like if I was in their position, I would want me out of the game, because I'm clearly trying to stir up trouble.
Like, Will, he's great, but he's desperate.
Once Will is gone, like I said, people are going to come for me. Like, it's the only logical thing for them to do.
We're going to be doing a tier ranking list today of every player still in this game, and in terms of who is at the top of the power dynamics, whatever you want to call it, and who is probably going to go home next. First, we have Will. Yeah, dude, I will be surprised if he's not the next vote. I'm not saying I want him to be the next vote, but his game is just kind of like, I don't know. He's voted wrong, like, 3 times. Next, we have Megan. I would put her as safe. I don't think she's in power. I really do not. I think she's kind of just going along with the Spurs. I think she probably feels comfortable being in this majority. Next, we have Luciana. Oh, the number one player controlling the game. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind that she is controlling the game. She is in power. She has good social relations with everyone. She has 0 votes against her. That could backfire on her if people are aware of the fact that, like, hey, she has connections with, like, basically everyone at this point. She is in such a good position, and I just need people to see that she is clearly at the top of the Spurs tribe. Like, it's not close. Except for maybe Rohan. You can see him looking down at his phone, so that's kind of funny, because if you actually look at Alex, he's also looking at his phone. Isn't that funny how that works? I know I've heard from Megan S. that she feels good with Rohan. I know Rohan and Alex are good. Luciana gave Alex an idol that he played on Rohan, so like that's a huge deal to me. Next, we have Jared. He's in danger. He did not play last week very well. I think voting Megan S. was a mistake. Evelyn, I think she's in the middle. She was left out of the last vote. She has connections with Will, with myself, with Luciana. I don't know how comfortable she feels with the Spurs. She's gotta know that she is not at the top of that dynamic of the Spurs. Like, she's gotta know she's not in power. She was just left out of a vote. Next, we have Sreya. I think she's in the middle. She is probably the biggest case of don't underestimate anyone, because I think I really overlooked her. In the pre-merge, I didn't see her doing much. Emma probably safe at this point. I took her for being more in the middle. I think she's safe. She might be in a position sort of similar to Megan S. I really think if either of these two go to the end with these three, a lot of their game will just be like following behind them and like letting other people do the work, which you could make a case that my game, I have kind of been going along with plans. So we will see what happens this week, but I just need some amount of chaos, even if it's an easy vote, which there never is in Survivor, but you know, we need some chaos. We need something to happen, and it needs to happen like soon, like now. So we will see.
Good morning, y'all. We are approximately 10 hours and 40 minutes away from Tribal Council.
Evelyn playing both sides really hard, leaking information. Like I could tell she was telling everything I told her to Will, and it was really like really making me mad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I messaged in my producer chat, like, yeah, Evelyn's a snake. Like, Evelyn's gone next week, and I still mean that.
Rohan went to the retail shop today, tried to throw a brick at the window to get in, and it just bounced right back at his head and hit his nose, and he got a bloody nose and just went back to camp. That's true. I saw a screenshot. He's not lying about that. But then I know that Evelyn had already gone to the retail shop, but she got into the retail shop. So I asked her how she got in, and she said she couldn't remember. Okay, guys, this is what Evelyn just texted me. It was like my first one, and I remember somehow getting in and seeing a mini Ferris wheel or something, but nothing that I was actually able to take. I straight up can't remember how I got in.
Bro, she's always like, oh, dude, I can't remember. Like, my mind's so foggy.
She's
like,
lying.
damn.
So I think she's lying to me, which sucks because I thought I could trust her. I'm talking to her tomorrow. I'm not gonna let her off that call without her giving me a straight answer. Like, I forgot what happened is not gonna cut it. Like, you have the links that tell you exactly what happened.
So how did you get into the store?
I think I just walked in. Like, I'm pretty sure maybe it was changed. It was like one of the first ones I did, so I can't like remember exactly how I got in, and my memory is shit in the first place. But like, I don't remember having to like break through a window. I'm pretty sure like maybe somebody else broke the window. Like, that was an option after me, because like
This is the retail shop, right?
yeah. I remember like I did not have some like bulletproof glass. Like, I just like kind of went in, and then it was like there wasn't anything in there.
It just sucks to vote her out because she's a great person, but I think it makes sense for the Spurs to vote out one of their own this week, just to make sure that we don't have too much of a numbers advantage. because then if it's just all Spurs left, it's gonna be freaking chaos.
And Soraya, I really do feel like would vote with us.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like she'd be more inclined to vote with us if we voted Evelyn. I'm gonna be honest.
Basically, but I'm sure, like, I just talked to Sreya, and she has immunity, so she's, like, obviously feeling a little more secure and, like, willing to say names, I guess, more clearly. But she seems to want to do Evelyn. I don't know
okay.
if you've heard the same thing.
Yeah, I talked with Megan, and she also mentioned that she heard Evelyn's name. Megan does seem to be a little, like, wishy-washy about voting for Evelyn, though. The only thing I did hear, like, that could be beneficial is that, like, I heard potentially that people might want Evelyn voted out.
I don't think you can count on Evelyn's vote. Maybe for that reason, Evelyn would be somebody to go out early, because you may not be able to count her vote later in the game against Luciana and Rohan, you know?
Everyone, I think everybody wanted to vote Will out this past week. Unfortunately, he won immunity. The reason everyone wants to vote him out is pretty simple. He very social, easy to talk to. He, like, when I had my first conversation with him in 1st grade, like, super easy to talk to. However, he also is, like, playing very hard and, like, just telling people whatever they want to hear. He's, like, one of those people that, like, as long as it's not me, I'll vote anyone down, like, not really any loyalty.
All I've done is tell Rohan and Alex I'm going to look out for them, while also telling Emma and Megan that, hey, if you guys want to vote out Rohan or Alex, I'm down. You know? That was slimy as fuck.
Definitely don't trust Ro. I don't have any interest in working with him, really. Maybe he could help us with the vote, but also I would rather just do the vote alone than have him involved in it.
If we vote out Evelyn, it would make it again 5-4. And then we're giving the Bears like a lifeline because they would just need one of us to flip.
It's crazy. No one ever mentions Brian S. I feel like he definitely has some
honestly,
connections that we don't. He definitely has some connections that either is never talked about or, like, what could he be doing?
Don't want to work with Will, but I don't have that many options because Alex and Rohan, they're not gonna work with me much longer.
I don't know what's the better option between, like, the two that have, like, seemed to be the big names that have been thrown out right now.
Yeah. So
I haven't really talked much strategy with Evelyn.
Okay.
We've just talked a lot about life in the past 3 weeks.
That's the good thing about Evelyn. Like, it's like a break from the game with her a little bit.
I don't know if you've heard, but, like, Evelyn, as soon as, like, Carolyn got voted out, Evelyn came to, like, all of us Spurs and just started bashing on you.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we were tight. I don't trust any of these fuckers anymore. I think the top of that list used to be Evelyn. Evelyn is one of the few remaining people in this game that I have not lied to. I think Evelyn and Sreya are the only two people that have been consistently trying to play in their best interest. Because I've always assumed that our best interests always aligned. And yet, now I hear that Evelyn is talking mad shit about me behind my back.
Completely agree. See, I'm just trying to, feed Will what he wants to hear, not let him suspect in case, we bring up his name or, yeah.
What would Uul do? I need Uul's guidance. I'm not going to pray to him because I only am Jewish. I don't do that. But Uul should give me a little, shine the light down to me.
I guess my plan was to hesitantly and regretfully vote Evelyn out tonight. And now I'm kind of shaken up about the whole ordeal. I feel like there's even a better chance of me getting voted out, but if nothing else, I guess there will be no regret when I write Evelyn's name down.
All right, come on in, guys. Hope you guys had a good time with Akshay, but I'm finally back. I'll also welcome in the very first member of our jury, Carolyn. As you can see, she is also on the screen. So let's get right into it. Soraya, won some immunity for yourself this week. Short little challenge. How's that feel? Do you think the challenge is more skill-based, strategy-based, or you think you just got lucky?
I think it was a bit skill-based and lucky, but I'm glad there are no solo cups involved this time. As many people know, I hate solo cups now. But yeah, it was great.
So, Brian, obviously, Soraya, no one go for it this week. How great does that feel to have immunity, and you're on the opposite side of that, where you aren't safe this week?
It sucks not having immunity because it's scary that you could be voted out, but I mean, there's 9 people without immunity, so I feel like we're all just like, you never know what could happen. If you don't have immunity, even if you do have immunity, going to tribal is scary, so.
Jared, talking about expected things, is there an expected way that this vote is tending to go this week, or is it more up in the air?
It's difficult to say. I said this last week with the merge, but like the merge is basically anyone for themselves. So like people could tell you like one thing about where the plan is going, but like it could actually be completely something else. So really, I don't think there is such a thing as a simple plan for a merge.
Absolutely. Merge can mess everything up all at once. So, Emma, obviously looking at you guys, I believe there's 6 Spurs and 4 Bears from the original tribes. Do you think that's going to play a factor in the vote this week? Obviously, Carolyn went home last week when I was on the minority Bears tribe. So, is that what we're looking at?
I mean, I definitely think that it does play a part, but I think it's less about the original tribes and more that's just kind of where the natural alliances are. And, I think that, especially now that it's the merge, kind of like what Jared was saying, it's everyone for themselves now. And so, sometimes those lines have to get crossed.
So Rohan, obviously in that 6-person majority from the original Spurs tribe, Emma mentioned like line has to be crossed at some point. Is there some chance that Spurs person be going home this week, that someone's flipping around? Or are you guys feeling pretty confident?
Yeah, so like the original tribe lines are pretty much just like who have you been playing the game with the longest. So like obviously that has a big effect on like who you want to work with now, like who do you trust, because trust is built when you go through tribal councils together. But at the same time, there has been, a swap tribe, there's been a merge vote, and there's so many relationships to keep track of, like cross-tribe relationships to keep track of, that the original tribe lines are becoming more blur and blur. So, yeah, like could a Spur go home? Potentially, yes. Would I like that to happen? No. So.
All right, so Will, Rohan says he'd like that to happen? No. Sounds like he kind of wants to keep the Spurs together. You obviously not an original Spur. Do you feel a little bit in trouble this week being, there's 4 the Bears tribe left, Soraya's immune, that leaves 3 of you guys left.
I definitely feel in trouble. I've felt a little bit in trouble for a while now. When I hear Emma say that, hey, those lines have got to be crossed sometime, and that sometime will probably be soon, that's music to my ears, because I'm worried that maybe I don't go home this week, but if I don't go home this week, I'll probably go home next week, or maybe the week after that. How much longer can some of us remain in the game? So we'll see what happens, but I'm kind of hoping that some of those lines get crossed.
So Brian, is that your hope as well, trying to turn one of the Spurs members? Is that kind of like the hope that's going on this week, or are there a lot of other, underground things going on as well?
I don't know if there's a specific hope for this week. I guess the hope for this week is to survive this tribal. But I definitely think, from my perspective, as you said, being one of the original De Beers people, I gotta hope that everyone isn't seeing it as our original tribes, and that a lot has happened since we were on those original tribes. And I think that there are a lot of people from both original tribes that are working together and that have made connections since we were on those starting tribes.
So Luciano, what are some qualities of people that you're willing to vote out this week? Is it about loyalty and trying to, get a group of people to go to the end with? Are you trying to vote out the strongest players? Or kind of what's the thought process throughout people's minds this week?
I think the thought process of people's minds is mainly loyalty based. And it's more loyalty based, not to an individual level, but to a group level. Because we're playing Survivor and the tribe mentality always stands. And we know that during the past weeks, there have been some people who have been shifting back and forth. There have been some leakages of information, and I think that definitely could play a role into how the vote is going this week.
So Jared, Luciana mentioned, there might be some people whose names have come up. What people's names have been being thrown out there this week? Is that popular knowledge, or are people keeping their cards close to their chest?
I'll be honest, I've heard my name. And like it's kind of my own fault because like last week I got caught like playing both sides and like everybody knows it at this point. So like I know like I'm definitely in trouble tonight.
All right, you see you're in trouble tonight. Rohan, are there any other names, or is Jared just like the one that's, he's saying he's in trouble, hopefully he's trying to save himself?
Yeah, I did hear Jared's name. A lot of that was because he was playing both sides, but I really cherish, or like I put a lot of emphasis on what I tell people. And if I tell someone something in confidence and I find out they're telling the entire tribe, that's not going to sit well with me, and this vote might reflect that.
So, Alex, Rohan even said it, Jared said it. Some people have been, crossing tribe lines and, spreading distrust, but no one wants to say any names. Do you think there's odds of a blindside happening this week, or do you think odds of that are very low?
There's always a chance for a blindside in Survivor. By definition, it's when you don't see it coming. So, like, it could happen at any point in time, whenever. So, yeah, it's possible. Do I think it'll happen this week? If it's to me, then yeah, I'll be really surprised. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Evelyn, have there been any popularized, alliances that people know about, or couples that might be in a power position, and anything like that this week? Or is that not really something that's been talked about?
I would say that hasn't really been talked about, at least in my conversations. I think, the biggest focus has just been on, original Spurs, original Bears, and then blurred lines. But I don't know. I would say that there definitely hasn't been an emphasis on pairs, to me personally, at least.
Another tribal council. You guys aren't giving me much to work with, so I guess we'll see what happens. But obviously, have to ask the age-old question that I ask every single week. Raise your hand if you feel safe tonight. Got a little hesitated hand from Soraya. Love to see it. All right, so with that, it is time to vote.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do right now. I hate myself for this, but I think this is the right thing for this tribal. I'm so sorry, Evelyn.
I am just writing this down because this is what is expected.
I'm voting for Will.
Evelyn, I thought that I was the biggest two-timing bastard in this game, but maybe your performance takes the cake.
All right, I'll go tally the votes. All right. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Brady, I do not have an idol, but I have this lovely financial calculator, and I would love it if you would play this as my immunity idol for me. But just to show everyone I don't have the idol, I probably would have played it tonight if I had it.
All right, so Jared played his financial calculator. As he said, that is, in fact, not an idol. So all votes cast towards Jared will still count. All right, so when I read the votes, the decision is final. The person being voted out will be asked to turn their Zoom video off immediately. However, before I read the votes, I have to announce that there are 10 of you, only 9 votes were cast during this tribal council. In addition, Jared, you shared one thing with the class. Would you like to share another?
Yes, most of you know this already, but I got a disadvantage from the volcano. My vote is public for everybody this week. I'm sure all of you probably know that at this point, but everybody is going to know who my vote is for this week.
right, so as Jared said, we have to share his vote. Jared voted for Evelyn. So first vote, that's 1 vote cast towards Evelyn, 8 votes left. All right. Second vote. Will. That is 1 vote Will, 1 vote Evelyn. Will. That's 2 votes Will, 1 vote Evelyn, 6 votes left. Evelyn. 2 votes Evelyn, 2 votes Will. Evelyn. Evelyn. That's 4 votes Evelyn, 2 votes Will, 3 votes left. 9th person vote out of Survivor Michigan Season 7, the 2nd member of our jury. Evelyn, please turn your Zoom video off.
I don't understand what's going through people's damn heads.
What we're going to be doing is a version of speed dating.
But I literally can't trust anybody.
I think Keynesian crew is going to have to come to an end today.
Why is he fucking doing this now? Why does Jared like to stir shit up?
Honestly, this has been a blast. I don't really have any hard feelings or anything. Yeah, honestly, I was surprised I made it this far. I didn't really watch Survivor before this game we played, and so it was great to get to learn about the game and just to learn about everybody else, and hopefully a lot of friendships have started through this, and I'm excited to keep following as a member of the jury.